Hi, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales here in sunny Southern California. That guy out there is.
I'm Eric Zandona in the Florida Emerald Coast.
Ooh, que romántico. You sound like a pirate.
Yeah.
Today, folks, we have something really cool. We have been, as you people know out there, RTD season is springtime. By the time you see this, it could be the end of summer. But but we have been sent to take a look at Chido. Not to be confused with Chido. This is like in Spanish, que chido, right? You know that saying. How cool, how neat.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, Eric, I love this packaging, man. Look at that.
Yeah, I like it a lot as well. It's really fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna right now just nominate it for packaging. It is fun.
Yeah.
Some light colors, and they have 4 different flavors, 4 different cocktails. We're gonna go through all 4 of them. First, of course, we're gonna try them at room temperature, and tell you, we're gonna taste the juice, and then we'll give you all the ins and outs and tell you, all the ingredients and how much sugar and all that other stuff. So
yeah,
we're gonna pop this baby open. Hopefully, I don't cause a. I'm gonna. Last time I did one of these, I got it all over my keyboard. So I'm gonna pop this. There we go. See? All right.
Yeah, so these have a little bit of carbonation.
Yes.
So the first flavor, just for people out there, is sea salt margarita.
Yes, and we're gonna try them 2 different ways. One at room temperature. Then we're gonna pause and we're gonna get a cold one out and pour it in the same glass, and we're gonna go from there. So, yeah. Oh, that's a pleasant smell. That's not bad.
Yeah, I think it does have a nice smell to it. I mean, it's got I would say immediately like classic margarita aroma. There's a local, like, I don't know what you would call it. It was like pseudo Mexican. It's it's Mexican
pseudo
restaurant.
It's Cuban Mexican.
Well, no, it's like a Mexican restaurant run by mostly Anglos. So the food's not the most authentic, but it's decent. It's good. It's like chimichanga. You want some nachos? You want something? It's good. Anyway, the smell on this reminds me a lot of their house margarita.
Yes, I was going to say it's a very familiar smell. It smells clean. It smells good.
Yeah, so you get there's a little bit of the salt essence. You definitely get the orangey triple sec note, and then there's some there's that kind of characteristic of the tequila in there as well.
By the way, for those of you who are listening on the podcast, I'm using a rocks glass. Eric is using his Glencairn, which is just as good. I'm serving it the way probably I would either drink it out of a can, or if I were serving it to somebody maybe in a glass.
For the chilled one, I'll switch to a wide mouth glass. But I just wanted to, for the room temp, I just wanted to.
That's really pleasant. That's got a nice smell, and it's not overly sweet. It's inviting.
No. Yeah.
Well, I'm ready to dive in and taste.
Yeah, let's take a sip.
Let's see. Definitely the salt at room temp really comes up.
The salt comes through. The other thing too is the carbonation. So in this regard, okay, so you order a margarita at a restaurant or a bar, right? They're not carbonated. So I think the carbonation actually detracts a little bit from the flavor, because the carbonation is bouncing off your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's actually preventing the flavor of the margarita to really come through. You get the salt, there's some light sweetness, but the taste to me isn't as intense as the aroma is. The aroma is really inviting.
Aroma's really good. Yeah, I will say that.
It's I don't know.
Well, and the reason we do this, and I spoke to Eric off camera. I said, I want to taste the recipe at room temp, and then because some of these recipes are so well made that I mean, here's the thing: you pull it out of your ice chest, and you're not going to chug it. You let it sit there, and it's a hot day or something, and eventually it the
It
temperature
warms up.
it warms
Yeah.
up, right? So this is what it's going to taste like if you let it sit there. You will drink half of
Yeah.
it, the rest of it's going to taste like this.
Yeah.
And some taste great at room temp and cold. Some are not. Some are just designed to be had cold. So,
Yeah.
have we just dissected enough of this right now? Because
I think so. Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna go pull a cold one out of my fridge. I will be right back. So, both Eric and I have gone to our refrigerators. We've got
the chilled one.
The chilled
Yeah.
one. So we're gonna pop this open. And again, it's carbonated, so be careful
Yeah.
it doesn't pop in your face.
So since this one's already chilled, I'm just going to put it into the sort of a regular.
Okay. I'm gonna dump what I have in here, and I'm gonna pour this one chilled. By the way, the color is just clear, and
crystal clear.
It's not a it doesn't have a fluorescent green color or anything weird like that.
Yeah. And like I said, it's lightly carbonated, so you can see little bubbles.
Yeah, little bubbles.
But yeah. So to me, the orange aroma at room temp is a little bit more muted, but still same kind of inviting, I think.
That's that aroma, that bouquet, that whatever that is, that sweetness, it's still there.
Yeah.
And that's good to know, because that is I think that's part of this whole recipe, is that it's the aromas are very, very inviting. So
yeah.
And there's not much else. So let's just dive in, I guess. Oh yeah.
So chilled, I think it's better.
Yes.
The flavor, I think, comes through a lot better. It's not, the salt isn't as aggressive as it is at room temp.
Yep.
It's definitely there. So it's I would say, personally, I'm not somebody who enjoys a salted rim on their margarita, but if you are, then that might actually be something you might really enjoy.
The salt idea too is sometimes it counteracts the acidity of whatever lime that's in here, and primarily there's got to be some. Well, we're gonna read the ingredients.
Yeah,
because this is good, and definitely the recipe was designed to be chilled. I'm really good at that.
So here, tequila with sparkling water, natural flavors. They call it premium tequila. Doesn't mean a lot.
There. By the way, there is no number on this, and whether they say, and Eric and I discussed this off camera, but this is how we run our competitions also. If it doesn't have a known number, that means it's being canned in the United States, and we have to assume that if they're using tequila, that they're using a mixto.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put it in that category. Not a bad thing. I mean, I don't have a problem with mixed diffusers in this kind of a the presentation.
Yeah, I would just say, to be fair to everyone, like there are very few tequila based RTDs that are using 100% agave. Very
few.
All of them are going to be using mixto because it's more cost effective.
Well,
right? You can ship it in bulk to the US and then you can do everything there. And
now there are, to be fair, also on the other side, is that there are distilleries now who are somehow to acquire more clientele. They have a canning and a bottling section so you can get, let's say, a diffuser made tequila with a NOM number on it. It's 100%. It's being canned in Mexico, and so there are workarounds. I know that NOM 1414, the Feliciano Vivanco y Asociados, now has an RTD. They are producing an RTD that I'm excited about, because we're gonna taste that, myself and Jim. Somewhere, you folks will see us somewhere after RTD season, probably. We didn't get a whole lot of information. They are saying that they started established in 2020, right at the pandemic, which was perfect timing, because that's when the boom happened for RTDs. It was just starting in 2019 and it just exploded in 2020.
Yeah.
And they're saying, gluten-free, of course. What else are they saying here? 120 calories, 5 grams of carbs, no fat, no protein, and it's 5% alcohol by volume. Okay, so it's a very light. I love the packaging. It says good vibes. They say vacation is a state of mind. It's kind of a busy can. There's lots of back to you. But I like it. I don't have any problem with it. I think it's a brand of promise worthy nominee as far as in the mixto category. Is there something else you want to add to that? Because I know you've done a lot of these.
I would, there are some technical things that could be tweaked. I think the carbonation thing is like, I don't think it adds a whole lot to it, but overall, I think it's not bad. I'd say it's in the like not bad to good range. It's not, personally for me, not in the great like range, but that's one of the great things about RTDs is people are trying a lot of new stuff, and like some of it's really nice and some of it's just okay. And so I think I'm excited, to see somebody, rather than just do the same like seltzer or vodka soda or whatever, trying to like have a real solid line of tequila based RTDs. So I like that a lot. So
the other thing too, Eric, we've had a few RTDs, several actually. One of my favorites was Cutwater makes a mango margarita, but it's a mango margarita cocktail. It's a cocktail in a can. It's a much bigger can. It's like the Coke can size, beer can size. But then it's got 15% alcohol in it. And Cutwater has their own tequila. So we've had their line. We've had the entire line. And they say on the can that they make it with their tequila. There's no reason for them to use a mix, though, even though they don't have a num number on the can. But that I'm telling you, that it was one of the best cocktail. But it's a cocktail, and it was not carbonated.
Yeah.
So this is more like in the ranch water range, and
in that regard, I do think it's pretty good for what it is. The construction, the carbonation, the lower ABV point. I think the flavor's good for that low ABV. Like you get a real sense that this is a margarita.
Yeah.
It's actually not the same thing as like a canned cocktail version of a margarita, or even one you might make at home or get at a restaurant. But in terms of this, like the real target is, right, you have these in a cooler, you're having a barbecue, you're going to the park, you're going to the beach, wherever, right? Then everybody's having a good time.
Yeah. I mean, it's that, and that's exactly where they went. So I say brand of promise nominee in that mixto category. I got no problem with either of these. So let's see. Anything else that I need to say about the packaging? I love the packaging. I think it's if you're bored, you can. When we were kids, we used to read the cereal boxes. So now you can read of RTD. But that's our take on Chido. And this is the sea salt margarita. But stick with us because we got another 3 to go through. Okay, so I'm kind of anxious to see what we're doing with that. You folks have been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and platforms. Please subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. Hit the notification bell. Give us a like. You can follow Eric on his Instagram at Easy Drinking because he is easy drinking. He's way more famous than we are. You can follow TA, also Tequila Aficionado, on all of our platforms. And whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.